Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Frilioth, and before we start today's episode properly, I've been messing with my pumpkin farm, which we built yesterday, and I wasn't happy with the fact that it didn't work overnight, or it was redundant overnight because the pistons were out, and I knew that there had to be a reasonably easy way to sort it out. So anyway, I went off and did a bit of testing. And came up with an idea. So I've been out and got myself some repeaters, a bit more redstone, another daylight sensor, and we'll just finish it off. We'll go up there now and I'll just finish it off with you. So I've done most of it. Did most of it off camera. It's night time now. No doubt it's going to be crawling with all kinds of good stuff out there. And as you can see, the pistons at the top 3 layers are in. They're overridden. I've overridden the signal into those pistons. We've just got to do the ones at the bottom. So providing I don't get killed, I'll just talk you through it. So we have a daylight sensor there. Which with a piece of glass above it, so that senses whether or not it's daylight. If it's daylight, it powers that repeater, which turns off that torch, which turns off all of these repeaters. On the other side of this repeater is the redstone that powers the piston. As soon as it's daylight, turns it off. When it's night time, it turns it on, so it powers all of the repeaters, which basically turns off the piston. So the piston, the farm won't work overnight, but it will allow the melons to grow. The old system wouldn't allow melons to grow because the pistons would be extended. Now, because they're being powered, the pistons are retracted, and therefore melons can grow overnight. And it's just repeated on every level. There as well. It's laddered down. It goes along and then it comes down, comes out of there. So on the final level, the bottom level, the system comes all the way from the top down to here, and all we're going to do now is hook it up to these pistons at the bottom. You heard one of them fire then. See? So now all the pistons now are retracted, which is great because, as I say before, when all the pistons were extended, melons couldn't grow. Okay, maybe they're not. Oh, we don't need him around here, do we? We don't need you around here, my old China plate. What are you doing? Oh man, creepers around here. Oh, they're not good. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I need to go 8. There it is. Don't have any more granite. I bet there ain't a piece of granite knocking about, is there, when you need one? I'm going to have to use a bit of stone this time then. I've tried to use granite so it was easy to see, but hey ho. So now they're all linked up. Brilliant. So now every time it gets dark, the pistons fire. It activates. Sorry, the redstone at the top fires. It activates the pistons, retracts them. He's there, isn't he? I ain't going to be able to get rid of him. I ain't. Can I see him? No, I can't. I'm going to have to run out and run away. Don't you dare. Don't you dare blow my base up. Right. So that's that. Actually, I'm gonna. Oh, I mean, I can't sleep. Is it not? Oh no, it's daytime. Daytime. Any slimes? Come on. None. He really did pull a fast one on me, didn't he? Absolutely convinced that there were slimes down here, and there aren't. Right, you boys are going to start doing some work today. I think today I'm going to work on my iron farm. And I've been toying with ideas, and the one I have, which I'm really pleased with, incorporates 2 floors. Now, iron farms for me in the past have only incorporated one spawning floor for the golems. I now understand the mechanics of villagers and villages, and I'm pretty confident I understand how and why golems spawn. So I think I'm going to be able to do a twin floor, which basically gives... Where's he gone? Which basically gives the golems twice as much floor space to spawn onto. Whereas my 1 floor mechanism only had 1 floor, obviously. Right, how many pumpkins have we lost then? We've now got 60 pumpkins. There are 2 there. Would they have fallen into the water had there been glass on the front of it? It's not really a biggie because I can go in and fish them out, so I'm not losing them. So yeah, I mean the melon farm sort of put a dampener on the idea of having the golem farm up there and having the golems fall down a water slide to the front of the man cave, because I've sort of taken up the front of the man cave with the massive melon farm. That is a big old melon farm, isn't it? Come on, boys, don't let me down. Let's have a melon. There he goes. Super. So I've got to come up with another idea for where to put my iron farm now. So I'm thinking it's still going to be in the same place. Still thinking it's going to be up there. But the golems are just going to have, I'm going to have to sort of clear out a space over there, and the golems are just going to have to fall down into a killing area around there. Probably. But first order of business, I suppose, is to clear out up the top. So I'm going to get myself a diamond shovel, because I don't have a diamond shovel. Get myself a diamond shovel, and I will dig out a platform at the top of there. And once that's done, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I might even take you to my test world and show you what I've mocked up. In fact, we'll do that. I'll run down here and get a shovel, and while I'm going down here, we'll have a wander over to my test world, and I'll show you what I've already done. As if by magic, we're on one of my test worlds. So the idea behind a golem farm, I don't know whether I'm going to be boring you by telling you this, or whether you're not interested, or whether you just know all about it anyway. But the idea is golems will spawn in a village that has at least 21 valid doors. They have to be valid doors, and it needs at least 10 villagers within the radius of the village. There are my 10 villagers. I think there were 10 in there. Where's it got in there now? It is 15 in there. So basically, for a door to be valid, I really hope I'm not going to bore you by telling you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. They need to be oak doors. I don't care what anybody else says. I've not managed to make them work with dark oak or acacia, certainly not iron. with spruce, any of the other doors, I can only get it to work with oak doors. Grab a bit of wool. Right, so you've got a door, and then on either side of the door there is 5 spaces that Minecraft will check to see whether or not the door has got access to the sky. Let's cover that up with an iron block. Now, as long as the sky space on one side is within those 5 blocks is different to sky access space on the other side, it's a valid door. At the moment, the sky access on this side is 5 blocks, the sky access on this side is 5 blocks, therefore that's not a valid door. If I do that, sky access on this side is only 4 blocks, sky access on this side is 5 blocks, therefore that's a valid door. If I do that, 4 blocks, not a valid door. Doesn't have to run sequentially either. If I do that, it's still got 4 blocks that have got access to the sky, 4 blocks on this side access to the sky, invalid door. Do that. Now there are 3 blocks on this side with sky access, 4 blocks on this side sky access, that's a valid door. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it, but you need valid doors. So what we've done, or what I'm going to do, is have the doors 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, there's 12 doors there, 24 doors in total. 12 doors that are using the platform above, that platform there, as the roof. So there's sky access this side, no sky access on that side, valid doors. Exactly the same on this side. Got my 12 doors there. There is 1 block on this side, but there's 5 blocks on this side covered to the sky, so therefore they're valid doors. Now, because of where they're positioned, the spawn spot for the iron golem is exactly here, because it's equidistant from all of those doors. Now, a golem will spawn in a 16 by 16 area around the centre part of a village. Okay, so 8 blocks that way, 8 blocks that way, 8 blocks that way, 8 blocks that way. A golem will spawn in this area. It will also spawn 3 blocks below and 3 blocks above this exact centre point, which puts it here. 3 blocks below the level of the doors, 1, 2, 3 is here. 3 blocks above the level of the doors puts it here. So both of these platforms are valid spawning spaces for the iron golem. Now, as I mentioned to you before, there were Tango Tech did a fantastic iron trench and an iron titan, and they are awesome, but they are so complicated. They rely on tons of redstone, they rely on spawn chunks to stop the villagers from merging. This is just a very simple non-redstone iron golem farm that will produce, so far we've had 22 iron golems, 23 iron golems while I've been setting it up and doing a bit of testing, which is probably, I don't know, between 3 and 5 drops every time. Maybe 120, 130 bits of iron. So it's 2 stacks of iron in probably a day. So it's not the most efficient and it's not the quickest, but it works. So this is probably, with a bit of paraphernalia around the outside to make it look nice. There's another one, look at that, they're dropping like flies all of a sudden. Woohoo! See, an iron golem will form, providing all the criteria is met, an iron golem will form in the game randomly between 1 and 7,000 ticks. which is about 6 minutes. So in theory, an iron golem should form every 6 minutes. So anyway, I'm waffling again now. This is all just for decoration. But the important part is those 2 spawning floors there and where the doors are. If the doors were 1 space lower or 1 space higher, one of these floors would be invalid. Because of where they are, because of where I've put them, both floor spaces, both spawning platforms are valid. So that's what we're going to be building. So I'm going to run back now to my world and start collecting some resources. Now I'm going to grab myself a load of wood. I've got myself a load of cobble. I've got enough cobble to start with. I'm going to grab myself, got a couple of chests. I'm going to grab myself some wood and then obviously I need wood to make the doors. Oh man, what's going on here? Oh, I need to apologise. I'm sure everybody's been yelling at the yelling at the computer for the first part of the episode. I know they're pumpkins, not melons. I've been calling them melons quite often. I know they, and I've changed the sign. I know they're pumpkins. I know they're not melons, but and I don't know why I was calling them melons, but I was. But they're pumpkins. Oh, me down there, hello fella. Yeah, I saw you. I saw you. Have a quick look at the last time I came up here to start doing a bit of chopping. I got blindsided by a creeper who completely took me out and killed everything. Took everything. That's what I'm doing. Right, up to the mountain, top of the mountain. I'm still toying with the idea. I don't know whether to make it really visible oh, that was another experiment I did a while ago. I was a bit concerned that the water that's going to push the golems into the middle, into the drop, whether it would freeze at this level, and clearly it will. But not if you cover it with a bit of glass, and that's great because of what we've just spoken about valid doors. A glass block isn't classed as a solid block, so you can put that above a door and it'll just be the same as a sky block. So I can put glass blocks above the source blocks in the corners, and everything will be as it should be. So do I build it right onto the top so I can see the structure around the side? You won't be able to see the golems spawning in the middle and falling down until they come out the side of the mountain. So I don't know whether it's worth building it actually inside the mountain so nobody can see it, or whether it's worth having it on top of the mountain. Wow, look at that over there. Tota and Cobra have definitely been busy overnight. Look at that. Some kind of Roman Colosseum kind of thing. I can't wait to go over and see that. So, well, I'll clean this off to start with. Let me get rid of a bit of dirt. And then once we've made a bit of space, think about what we're doing, can't we? Right, that's about in the middle. That's about in the middle, and that's as close as I want it to be. So now I need to start building the killing, well, the spawning platform. Say the spawning platform. It's not the spawning platform, is it? It's the well, it is. It is the spawning platform. So if we have those 4 holes there going into the mountain, if we dig down there 4 blocks and then do a 3-block tunnel out here, then the golems can come out the front of here and go down there. Do we want them out the... I could have them going out the side, couldn't I? Would it be better going out of there? It might be better going out of there. Either way, I'm still going to have to dig down a couple of blocks there. So now the platform needs to be 8 blocks from here. And then there, so there needs to be 8 blocks to the torches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. I'm doing this really slowly, unfortunately for you guys, but it needs to be right. If I make this too big or too small, it ruins it. Okay, so now I'm just going to join these up in a big square. Right, this needs to be a little bit higher in the corners. One of the source blocks has got to go there. Right, so the bottom bit's now done. I now need to start building the. Actually, I'm not going to. This is not going to turn into a tutorial. So what I'll do. This is the basic size of it. Is going to be. It's going to be that big. Then there's going to be 3 levels, and then there's going to be another one. You've seen it. You saw it earlier. I'm just going to make this out of stone. So I'll finish this off, and then I'll get back to you when there's something to show you. So just to give you guys an update, I've got the main shell of it now. I've got the main shell up. So this is going to be the bottom spawning floor, and then I've got to fill that in with a gazillion blocks to make the top spawning floor, and then all the doors are going to go along that column there, sorry, that row there and that row there, and then obviously the water, and then we'll start digging it out. Anyway, update over. I'll put some doors down. I'll see you in a minute. So we've got the doors up. We've got the 24 doors. The valid village only needs 21 doors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But because I love working in odd numbers, but because of the centre being 2 by 2, to make it symmetrical, these have got to be an even number. So therefore, I've got to have an even number of doors down either side. I could get away with 11 and have 22 doors, but that would make them asymmetrical, and I don't like that. So hence the reason we've got 24 doors. So the villages, the doors are up. Now I need to fill in the roof. So I'll be back in a bit. So we've got the basin, we've got the flooring, we've got the water retention around the bottom floor, we've got the doors in on either side, and as I mentioned, because of where the doors are, that means the exact centre of the village is exactly here, on the same level as the bottom of those doors, which is brilliant. It's just what we need. And then on the top, exactly the same as at the bottom. There's just a spawning floor, so I just need to fill this in. I'd have to go mining for a bit of cobble in a minute as well. So we're ready to go. All I need now are some ice, which I'll go over to my ice farm, grab some ice, hopefully there'll be enough. And then I need to start worrying about getting my villagers from down there up here. And all I'm going to do for that, I guess, is build a temporary column of stone, then bring it across. They don't have to be near the doors, they just have to be roughly on the same level, within 32 blocks. I think it's 32, is it 60 or 32? We'll say 32. So on the same level within 32, so I can stick them in this corner. I can stick them anywhere close. I'll have a think about where I'm going to stick them. and then hopefully it'll start running. Anyway, I'm off to get some ice. I'll see you in a minute.